Welcome back to LimQ Plus, everyone. On this channel, I'm 100%ing Breath of the Wild by a bit every day until the sequel, Tears of the Kingdom, comes out. Today, that's in 66 days, and get ready for a good old-fashioned LimQ Plus rant today, because we are heading into Hebra. And I have a couple issues with Hebra that I hope that Tears of the Kingdom will fix, and I think the chances are pretty good. But before I start talking about Hebra and my hopes for Tears of the Kingdom to fix my biggest gripes with it, I do want to quickly announce that if you're watching this video just when it goes live, at 3 PM EST, I'm doing a stream in my Discord server. So this is just in my Discord server, a private stream where only I will be talking, and I will be giving you my thoughts on the pages of the Tears of the Kingdom art book. I will never talk about it on this channel, or any channel. This is the only time I'm going to be talking about it. I'm not going to have a fully blown conversation about it. I'm going to give you my thoughts. Only I will be able to talk, so you can listen in if you want to. I will put the invite link, this time I won't forget it, into the pinned comment. And I will only do this once. So, just wanted to announce it real quick. That's basically happening. If you're early, I did announce that some times already before recording this video now, but I did want to at least mention it. Now, I just realized that I hoped I have chili peppers. I don't. For some reason, I assumed that I just had. So it looks like we're going to be teleporting back to get the chili pepper for the next Korok seed. Also, 81.30%. I realized that I didn't show this in the previous recording. Now, Hebra is beautiful. And most people would probably disagree with me, because when they think of Hebra, they think of a white wall. In fact, I have an emote on my Twitch. Let me see if I can actually swap over to this. So I can show you. This will be kind of funny. It's going to be a little bit hard to see, but I think it will be funny. So there's my chat box, right? I'm going to type in test into it, and so you can see test on screen. In fact, I'm actually going to pull it a little bit bigger. This is going to be worth it. So we have an emote called Fields Hebra Man. This is what that emote looks like. Yes, it's a gray texture, and it's not a gray PNG that somebody made on Photoshop. This is literally a screenshot taken from the game in Hebra. That's how the Hebra region looks like sometimes in-game. Because, so if you didn't know, every area in the game has a certain chance to have certain weather conditions happen. Hebra's chance for foggy weather, snowy weather is incredibly high, but the problem is that, and I talked about this in the Tears of the Kingdom graphics video, that they weren't really able to pull off the foggy weather too well in this game, because this game already has this white grain in front of it at all times. So if you have foggy, snowy weather in combination with snow in Hebra anyway, and that white grain, you actually end up seeing pretty much nothing. Now, there's a pretty rare chance that we do get clear weather in Hebra, and in those rare moments that happens, the region is beautiful. There's so much to explore there. I think it's an incredibly interesting region that was kind of slaughtered. I talked about this in ranking my favorite regions in the game in general. It's really sad. I think Hebra had insane potential, and I really hope that Tears of the Kingdom is gonna make sure that it gets what it deserves. There could be so many interesting ruins. The Great Hebra Skeleton, in my opinion, was an awesome discovery to make for yourself. The problem is just that the hot springs are nice. The problem is just that you can't see what you're doing. And that's what makes it so incredibly frustrating. This is actually a perfect showcase right now. I'm going to try to find this next Korok seed, but look, I mean, you can maybe barely see the outlines of some of the mountains, but this is literally what the average Hebra gameplay looks like. Basically not being able to see anything. And that's really sad. I have a pretty good... I think there's a pretty good chance that this will be fixed with Tears of the Kingdom, though. In Tears of the Kingdom, I already talked about this in my graphical update video. It looks like this white grain has disappeared a little bit. I do want to retract that statement a tiny bit, because I did go back to the Breath of the Wild trailer, and I did realize that, in fact, that white grain wasn't really visible in those trailers, so they could have definitely obviously done some post-editing in the Tears of the Kingdom trailers. It makes sense that the white grain disappears more, though, with the Sky Islands being up there and being able to look further than usual. Also, I just realized I'm on my stream layout the entire time. So yes, I do think they will improve the white grain, this is what I'm continuing to call it, a little bit, making Hebra better, but I also think that Hebra is going to be a more central piece of exploration this time. I think, again, we kind of missed out. There's so many cool locations here, from shrines to ruins to hot springs, that a lot of people didn't discover because they literally couldn't see them. And I obviously think that's an issue. Now, I do think that the developers are... Sorry, I kind of lost my point there. They're actively trying to make Hebra more of a thing. They're hiding something there, right? We've already seen this big storm that seems to be around in Hebra. We don't really know if it's hiding something, if it's just a storm in general that's making Hebra itself play differently. Could there be a dungeon there? How important is Hebra going to be in the sequel? I think it's an awesome region that I wish I could rate higher. I think I maybe said this in the region video. It's like, honestly, an 8 out of 10 when you can see. It's just that you can barely see. Like, when you can see, then it's like a 3 out of 10. For multiple reasons. Again, I think they went a little bit too crazy with all of the tests of strengths. Like, there's like a bunch of major tests of strengths in Hebra, because I guess they thought for this to be like a late game region. Honestly, I don't know what the developer said about this, but I would, if I wanted to bet what the last region was they filled, I think it was Hebra. It makes sense to me. Maybe the developer said differently, but like, just put a bunch of random, you know, major tests of strengths in there. Just make it a late game region. It really kind of feels that way. And then the biggest giveaway, in my opinion, still, and I will always talk about, is this shrine down here. The Lano Ko shrine, which is just like going down a river and then getting a blessing shrine. I don't know. Maybe I'm going too hard here on Hebra. I think it has a ton of potential. And I really hope that Tears of the Kingdom is going to fix this region. And now, I will admit, the main reason I'm talking about this so much today is because I have to go through this entire area now and get every single Korok seed in here. And even in a speedrun setting, this is unfortunately incredibly annoying. Now, thankfully in this format here that I'm doing, I don't have to prioritize going fast too much. Usually in speedruns, obviously, you want to go as fast as possible all the time. There's constant time pressure. Thankfully, I don't have that here, so I can actually take my time and focus more on making sure that I'm not missing a Korok seed, because that's the real... that would be really annoying, figuring out which single Korok seed I missed later. But if you're actually trying to go fast, what makes this region so incredibly unforgiving is that you literally get a headache. Like, I would say 80% of the time I'm playing through Hebra, I'm like squinting, because you can see it. This is a perfect showcase. This is just your average Hebra visit. If I was in the speedrun right now, this is what it would look like. And I would have issues seeing what's going on, because the snowy weather is happening non-stop. I really do hope they will kind of revise this in Tears of the Kingdom. Looks like Hebra is going to be more important in... wait. Oh. For some reason I thought this is just like a single balloon. I guess it's not. There is an extremely hard to hit balloon here in Hebra, by the way. I don't know when that's going to come up. I don't think it's going to be happening in this episode. I can make a whole video about that one. It's like a balloon that like zooms around. I honestly wonder how many people casually got all Korok seeds in Hebra. I mean, if you did, wow, shoutouts to you. I would have never, without like a route. I feel like I would have literally... yeah, I would have just had a headache the entire time. Anyway, Hebra, great potential. I'm basically just ranting about this region because I'm starting to get the Korok seeds here now. Great region. I hope, on paper, I hope Tears of the Kingdom fixes my issues with it, because it deserves it. And I think there's a good chance, because that ominous snowstorm, if it's not a dungeon, it's hinting towards something. And I can't wait to actually explore the area and see where I'm going. Now again, if you want to listen to my thoughts on the art book, scroll down into the comment section and you should see a link that is a Discord invite link. If you're watching this video in time and it is currently 3 PM EST or earlier, you can join join that channel and listen to me talk about every single page. I wanted to say that one more time. Looks like I have already gotten these 2 Korok seeds here randomly out of order at one point. Perfect. That's all I wanted to do. Again, thank you for watching. 65 days until Tears of the Kingdom tomorrow, and honestly, when I thought about that earlier, 65 for some reason sounds so much closer now than when it still was like 68 earlier. I don't know what it is about it, but I guess as soon as we get into the 50s, 50 days away, the countdown really starts. But as always, thank you for watching. I hope I see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.